Good morning. Today in this video I would like to discuss about a lack of heat and temperature effect on the structures using stiffness method. So how can we analyze the structures which have undergone lack of heat or have any temperature effect? So let us start with lack of heat. These are the 10 steps to follow in order to analyze a structure which have undergone lack of heat. First step is to calculate kinematic indeterminacy. Then we will assign system coordinates. After that, we have to calculate the initial strain. That is the strain developed on members of a structure due to lack of heat. That is, in lack of heat, any of the member will not fit to the entire structure. So we will try to pull it or push it down in order to make that structure fit or in order to make that member fit in that structure. So when we apply an extra stress, that will be stored in that member as strain. So we have to calculate initial strain that is developed in the members. And in fourth step, we will form a displacement transformation matrix using Villiot diagram. And in fifth step, we will form element stiffness matrix, then develop stiffness matrix using the equation K is equal to A transpose into element stiffness matrix into A, where A is a displacement transformation matrix. And in seventh step, we have to develop generalized force matrix. For that, we have equation for that. Force matrix is equal to A transpose into element stiffness matrix into strain matrix. Okay. And this strain matrix is obtained from step number 3 and element stiffness matrix is obtained from step number 5 and displacement transformation matrix will be obtained from step number 4. So we can calculate this force matrix using all these matrices. Then we will have to develop a displacement matrix which is equal to K inverse, that is stiffness matrix inverse into force matrix. After that, we will develop a deformation matrix. Delta is equal to A into delta. And 10th step is to find out the element forces. Okay. So these are the steps you have to remember in order to analyze these structures. So let us see an example. Compute the internal forces of the truss shown below. So here is a truss shown below and lack of fit in each member is given. Take AE by L constant for all members. So here we have a truss member which have 4 members AB, AC, AD and AE. And the lack of fit of each members are given. AB and AD are not affected with lack of fit or these are casted perfectly. Where AC is 2 mm long and AE is 1 mm short than required. So let us see how can we evaluate by using all those 10 steps. So our first step is to calculate kinematic indeterminacy. So as a truss member, in order to calculate kinematic indeterminacy, we know we will analyze the degree of freedoms of each n supports. Here we have 4 supports. All 4s are fixed support. So fixed support will have a degree of freedom 0. So we have 0 degree of freedom in all the supports and we have a free joint which have degree of freedom 2. So we can conclude that degree of freedom of this structure or dk is equal to 2. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 which is 2. So kinematic indeterminacy of this structure is 2. So first step is over. Second step, we have to assign system coordinate. That is, we have found out that there are 2 degrees of freedom. So each degrees of freedom will be given each system coordinate. So we have 2 system coordinates, one in horizontal and one in vertical direction. You can take in any direction, like here in this direction or in this direction. Only you should keep it that mind that you should provide 2 degrees of freedom at the free end. Okay. So I have taken horizontal right, which is moving right direction, and vertical, which is moving downward direction, as 2 system coordinates. Now I have to calculate the initial strain. And from the question, it was given that AB, AC, AD and AE. These are the 4 members of the structure, and all these members, only AC and AE got affected with the lack of heat. AC was 2 mm long. 2 mm long means if any structure have length more than required, we will take it as positive, and if any structure is short, it will be taken as negative. So here AC was 2 mm long, so I have taken 2 positive, and AE was 1 mm short, so I have taken -1. Okay, so that is the sign convention. When it is long, take it as positive. When it is short, take it as negative. And the fourth step is to form displacement transformation matrix. As we do in truss analysis, here also we will draw Willow diagram. Willow diagram is nothing but just extending each members in the truss member. A, B, C, D. Here we have A, B, A, C, A, D and A, E. I have extended all these members, and then I will apply a unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate. Okay. Let me name it as O. From the O point, I have to draw perpendicular to each members. So, in this structure, I am taking a sequence, that is, I am taking AB first, AC second, AD third and AE, the member AE as fourth. So, you should stick on to any of the sequence, and you can take in any way, but you should keep that sequence until the end of this analysis. So I have taken AB, AC, AD and AE. So for finding out displacement transformation matrix, first we will give unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate. And from that point, we have to draw perpendicular to each members. Okay. So I will draw a perpendicular to member AB, and it come in contact with the extended AB, and I will do perpendicular to AC, AD and AE. Okay. And the second step is to calculate the distance from A to the point at which perpendicular touches the extended line. Okay. So in this figure, I have to calculate, let me name it as, in this point as B star. Okay, this point is named as B star since that line is coming on AB. So I have to calculate AB star. Then again, let me name the point at which the perpendicular from O touches the line AC. Let me name it as C star or C dash. So the distance AC dash should be calculated. Next, in AD, let me name it as D dash. So distance AD dash should be calculated, and then AE dash. Okay. So E dash. So we have, these are the elements in the displacement transformation matrix that you have to calculate. So from the figure, it is found that these angles are given 45, 60. So since this angle is 45, this angle will also be 45. And since this angle is 45, this will be 45. And this is 60 degree. And this is also 60 degree. Okay. So from triangles OAB dash, triangle OAB dash, I have to calculate the distance AB. So cos 45 is equal to AB dash divided by OA. And we know the length of the OA is unity, that is 1. Okay. So from triangle OAB dash, cos 45 is equal to, cos 45 degree is equal to AB dash divided by OA, where OA is 1. So I can say AB dash is equal to cos 45 degree. Okay. And similarly, from triangle OAC dash, I can write cos 60 is equal to AC dash divided by OA, which is equal to, AC dash is equal to cos 60 since OA is 1. Okay. Similarly, from triangle OAD dash, we can say AD dash is equal to cos 60 degree, but it was measured in the direction, opposite direction of the extended line. So extended line was this one and it was measured in the opposite direction. Therefore, I have to give it a negative sign. And similarly, from triangle OAE dash, AE dash can be written as cos 45 since it is also measured in the opposite direction of the extended line. The sign will be negative. So I can write these values. AB dash is cos 45, AC dash is cos 60, AD dash is minus cos 60 and AE dash is minus cos 45. Okay, clear? So that is how we can find out the elements of the displacement transformation matrix. Now we will see the next displacement system coordinate, that is second system coordinate, and I am giving a unit displacement in the second system coordinate. Let me name this point as O. Okay, and I will draw perpendicular to each lines. Now I have to calculate the distance. So AB dash, I am naming it B dash, C dash, D dash and E dash. So here also we have to calculate. When we apply unit displacement in the direction of second system coordinate, we have to find out AB dash, AC dash, AD dash and AE dash. Since all these values, which from the figure you can see all the values are calculated, or all the length can be calculated along the direction of the extended line, all the values will be positive. Okay. So from the figure we can say triangle AOB dash. Since this is 45 degree, this will also be 45 degrees. So AB dash will be cos 45. And from triangle AOC dash, this angle is 60 degree. So the rest angle will be 30 degrees. So we can say it is AC dash will be cos 30 degree. And from triangle AOD dash, since this angle is 45 degree, this angle will also be D dash, this one. Okay, so let me name it as this D dash. So D dash, this angle, this one is 60 degree, so this one is also 60 degree. So the rest angle will be 30 degree. So AD dash will be cos 30. And E dash, this triangle OAE dash, angle between these two are 45 degree. So AE dash will be cos 45. Okay. So these are the values of displacement transformation matrix. So I have taken both separately. Now we can keep all the displacement transformation matrix all together. So when I apply unit displacement in direction of first system coordinate and second system coordinate, we can keep all these things together. See, I just kept all these values together and we get the displacement transformation matrix. I may be needed A transpose, so I have find out the A transpose, just the transpose of the matrix. Okay, let us move on to the next step, that is step number 5, form element stiffness matrix. We have equation for element stiffness matrix. For truss member, it is K star is equal to AE by L. Since this truss member contains 4 members, AB, AC, AD and AE, all have AE by L constant, which was given in the question. We can directly write the element stiffness matrix of the structure as AE by L into unit matrix. There will be 4 elements along the diagonal. So this is the element stiffness matrix of the structure. Now moving to the step 6, that is to develop stiffness matrix. We have the equation K is equal to A transpose K star into A, where A is the matrix of displacement transformation, K star is the matrix of element stiffness matrix of the structure. So we just find out the product of A transpose K star and A. When you find out the calculation, you will get the answer as K is equal to AE by L 1.5, 0, 0 and 2.5. So this is the stiffness matrix of the structure, and we are going to find out K inverse also, because K inverse is used in some other steps. So here by using calculator you can easily find out the K inverse, that is L by AE into 0.667, 0, 0 and 0.4. Now moving to step number 7, that is to develop generalized force matrix. Usually when we analyze stress member without lack of fit, force matrix is just the matrix which give you the force value along the system coordinate. But in the case of lack of fit, we have separate equation, that is A transpose K star into delta 0. So we just multiply all these three matrices and we will get the answer as AE by L 1.707 and 1.025. Now step number 8, displacement matrix. We have the equation for displacement matrix, that is K inverse into P, and we have already calculated K inverse value, that is L by AE 0.667, 0, 0 and 0.4, and P is A by L 1.707, 1.025. So multiplying these two values, the A by L and L by AE get cancelled. Then multiplying these two matrices, the answer is 1.138 and 0.41. Okay. Now moving to the second last step, that is to develop deformation matrix. We have the equation del is equal to A into delta. Just to multiply these two matrices, you will get the answer as 1.087, 0.924, minus 0.214 and minus 0.515. So these are the equations for, this is the value of the deformation that occur on each members of the truss. Okay. Now moving to the last step, that is to develop or find out the element forces in each member. So we have 4 members, there will be 4 element forces. Just multiply the element stiffness matrix with difference of this deformation matrix and strain matrix. So we just find out the difference between deformation matrix and strain matrix and multiply it with K star. You will get the answer as AE by L into 1.087 minus 1.076 minus 0.214 and 0.485. So this is how we find out the element forces when lack of it is considered. Next we will see the temperature effect. So when we have different temperature during casting, some members of the structure may get expand or contract. Due to this, a strain will be developed inside these each members, and we may have to find out these forces inside the bars due to temperature. Okay, so let us see that by using an example. Here the question is, in the pinch jointed truss shown in figure, all the bars are cooled to 20 degrees Celsius. It was given coefficient of temperature expansion as 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree Celsius, and modulus of elasticity is 2 into 10 raised to 5 megapascal. Find the generalized displacement and forces in all bars. Okay, so we have to calculate the generalized force and displacement. So likewise, the lack of it, we have same 10 steps in order to analyze temperature effect. The only difference is that in the third step, in order to calculate the initial strain, we have an equation, that is L into alpha delta T, where L is the length of the member, alpha is the coefficient of thermal expansion, and delta T is the difference in temperature. Okay, so all of the steps are same as in lack of it that we have discussed just before. First, calculate the kinematic indeterminacy, then assign system coordinates. And third step, we will find out the strain. And fourth step, we will develop displacement transformation matrix, very similar to the method that we have done in lack of it, and form element stiffness matrix, then develop stiffness matrix, develop the generalized force matrix, then displacement deformation matrix, and finally we will calculate the element forces in each members of the given structure. Okay, so let us see the first step in this analysis. First step is to calculate the kinematic indeterminacy, and we have done it, so it is easy just to find out the degrees of freedom in each supports. We have 3 hinge support, and we know for hinge support degree of freedom is 0. So we have 0 at each support, degree of freedom at each supports are 0, and we have a joint, free joint, it will have a degree of support 2. So the total degrees of support or degrees of freedom is 2. Okay, so degrees of kinematic indeterminacy or degree of freedom of this structure is 2. Now we will assign system coordinates according to the degrees of freedom or kinematic indeterminacy. Since dk is 2, we will provide 2 system coordinates, one horizontally and one vertically. And third step is to calculate the initial strain. And as we have an equation for initial strain, so we have 3 members. As I said before, in the lack of it also, when we take each member separately in order to find out any matrices, the sequence at which you have taken on the first step should be kept until the last. So here I am taking AB first, AC second, and AD third. So this is a sequence I am considering the members of the structure. So I have to keep this sequence in all the matrix developments. Okay. So here we have delta 0 matrix, AB, AC and AD. We have AB, length of AB into alpha into delta T, and length of AC into alpha into delta T, and length of AD into alpha into delta T. So in question, alpha and delta T are given. Alpha is 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 and delta T is 20 degree. Okay. And we must see that whether the members undergo heated up or cool down. If the members having a temperature which got heated up or the temperature get rises, we will take the values as positive. If the temperature gets reduced or if it is cooled down, then we will take the value of strain will be taken as negative. So here in our question, we have cooled temperature or the temperature get reduced by 20 degrees Celsius. So we are taking all the values have with negative sign. Okay. So we have LAB, length of AB is 8000 into alpha into delta T. So let us see, delta 0 is equal to 8000 into alpha 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 into 20, and for AC it is minus 5000 into 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 into 20, and for AD it is 6000 into 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 into 20. So when you calculate these values, you will get the answer as minus 1.92, minus 1.2 and minus 1.44. So keep it that in mind. If the temperature was given has heated up or if the rise in temperature occur, we will take it as positive. If it get cooled down or reduction in temperature, it will be taken as negative. That is why here we have considered the values with negative sign. Okay, so that is the only difference from lack of it. Now we have the fourth step, that is to develop displacement transformation matrix by using Villiot diagram. So we know Villiot diagram is nothing but just extending each members of the structure, and here I have extended AB, AC and AD. Now second, we will give a displacement, unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate. So our first system coordinate was in this direction. So we are giving unit displacement in this direction. Then we will provide perpendicular to each members. Okay. So first we will provide a perpendicular to AB. Then let me mark this point as B dash, and I have to calculate AB dash. That is the element in the displacement transformation matrix. That is when I apply a unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate, and then I provide a perpendicular to each member separately and find out the distance from the joint to that perpendicular touching point. Here the distance is AB dash. So I have to find out AB dash. From this figure it is clear that if this is 30 degree, this will also be 30 degree. So AB will be cos 30 is equal to AB dash divided by AO, where AO is 1. So AB dash will be cos 30. So AB dash value is cos 30. Okay. Now I will draw a perpendicular to AC. Since AC extended value is extended line is in this direction, but I have got the perpendicular to the main member. Okay, so I will take this value AC dash as negative just because the distance measured AC dash is in the opposite direction of the extended line. Okay, so I have to calculate the length of AC dash. I have told you I am using the sequence AB, AC and AD. That is why I am taking AB dash, AC dash and AD dash. Okay, so AC dash value will be cos 45, but it was measured on the opposite direction of the extended line, so I am taking it as negative sign. Okay, now let me draw a perpendicular from O to AD, line AD, but it will meet at the point, it will meet at this point itself. So AD dash, here I can mark AD dash, but AD dash value is 0. Since it is coinciding with A, so AD dash value is 0. Okay, so this is the values that we obtain using Villiot diagram when we apply unit displacement along first system coordinate. Now we will apply unit distance along second system coordinate. Then we will apply perpendicular and find out the distance AB dash. Here we have B dash. So AB dash, since it is measured opposite direction of the extended line, so AB dash value is minus, this one is 30, so this one will be 60 degree. So minus cos 60. Okay, so AB dash is minus cos 60. Next AC dash, I will draw a perpendicular to AC line, and AC dash is also negative since it is measured along the opposite direction of extended line. If this is 45, this will also be 45 degree. So it will be minus cos 45. Okay. Now we have AD. Since the unit displacement is given along AD, so the distance, this point itself will be AD dash. So distance AD dash will be unity or 1. So AD dash value is 1. Okay. So I am coupling all this system 1 and system coordinate 2. So the value become A is equal to cos 30 minus cos 40, 0 and minus cos 60 minus cos 45 and 1. So this is the A matrix, that is displacement transformation matrix, when I apply unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate and second system coordinate. Now I am writing down the transpose of A matrix, that is just write down the cos 30 minus cos 45 0 and minus cos 60 minus cos 45 and 1. Okay. Now moving to the fifth step, that is to develop element stiffness matrix. We have three members, so AB, AC, AD. Just write down area of the AB divided by length of AB into E, area of AC divided by length of AC into E, area of AD divided by length of AD into E. So this will give you the values 0.625, 0.8 and 1. So we can develop element stiffness matrix of structure by using these values. Okay, so the element stiffness matrix is E into 0.625, 0.80, 001. Here we have the value of E, but I am not substituting just because I don't want to complicate this matrix. Okay, just keep it as it is. We will give the value of E on the last step. Okay. So now step number 6, develop stiffness matrix. We have the equation. Just substitute the values. You will get the answer as E into 0.868, 0.129, minus 0.671 and 0.757. Now we will find out the K inverse, that is 1 by E into 1.018 minus 0.173, 0.902 and 1.167. So we have K inverse. Now we will find out generalized force matrix in step number 7. We have the equation P is equal to A transpose K star into delta 0. We have P A transpose K star into delta 0, which was obtained in third step. So we have all these matrices. Just multiply these matrices. Will give the answer as E into minus 0.382 minus 1.517. Okay. Now, eighth step, to develop displacement matrix, we have the equation. Just substitute the values of the matrices and E and 1 by E get cancelled. So, delta will become minus 0.126 and minus 2.115. Now, step number 9 is to develop deformation matrix. We have delta is equal to A matrix into delta matrix. Just multiply these two matrices, will give the answer as 0.87, 0.086 and minus 2.115. Now the last step is to find out the element forces. Just multiply K star and find the difference between delta and delta 0. So you will get the answer as 1.744, 1.029 and minus 0.675 into E. Now here we will apply the value of E, that was 2 into 10 raised to 5 megapascal. 1 megapascal is 1 Newton per mm square. So we have 1 megapascal. 1 megapascal is equal to 1 Newton per mm square. So in order to make it kilonewton per mm square, we can write 1 megapascal is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 kilonewton per mm square. Okay. So when I multiply it with 10 raised to minus 3, it will become 2 into 10 raised to 5 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is 2 into 10 raised to 2 or 200 into this value. So when I multiply 200 into this matrix, we will get the answer as 34.8, 348.8, 205.8 and minus 135 kilonewton per mm square. So these are the element forces developed in this structure. I hope you understand. If you have any doubt, please comment on the comment section.